We all love gaming, right? I know, I love my horror games, so I can't blame others for spending so much time on a game. But a select few would seek to take it among themselves to immerse themselves further in gaming with a VR headset. There's nothing wrong with using a VR headset unless you're a gooner trying to start a predatory cult. That's what today's video is about. Welcome back to another video, my folks. I just got back from spending some time with my brothers from Japan, so I've gotten some breaks in from seeing floppy predator skin, which I desperately needed. So now we're back and it's time to discuss yet another VR chat slash Genshin Gooner this time, a predator by the name of KazuhaRed. Now, this case was a ticket sent to me by one of my very valuable server supporters, whom I appreciate very dearly. They expressed they had actually never interacted with the predatory individual themselves, and you know what, I think that's for the better. The fewer people that interact with this guy, or freak, the better. The individual who had sent me the ticket explained that they were very close friends with, quote, one of his victims, which means the guy has multiple victims. So that's just gross right off the bat. It's disgusting. So you just know we're in for the long haul. But compared to some other cases, this individual had 2 different Google Docs on him already. In other words, evidence is just stacked upon evidence, upon more evidence. So we're gonna have to go through a lot of this. Former victim of KazuhaRed's and a couple of their friends are responsible for the creation of this Google Doc that I'll be using for this YouTube video, which adds validity to the video's creation and to the Google Doc. KazuhaRed, otherwise known as the Crimson Wanderer, the Mad Hatter Senna, Mama Red, Scarlet King of Cards, the King of Cards, Raven621, or Raven/Tool/Vanitas. Did I say that right? I have no idea. Personally, the Discord username that I disliked the most out of all of these was Cult Daddy. What? Yeah, no, I'm ready to go for a walk already. Seriously, screw all of this before it even starts. I'm taking a break. See you later. The victim starts by stating that KazuhaRed used to be a good friend of theirs, and he used to be a member of the community that he ran called the N-Stars Destruction Squad. I have no idea what that is, which later changed to the N-Stars Destruction Family, which is a community in VRChat and on the Discord platform. Now, again, like I said earlier, I have no idea what these communities are or what they're in relativity to or what they do, so I'm going to have to leave it at that. But what matters is that KazuhaRed was very close with everyone in this community. It's literally his community. And when I say close, I mean like trying to stand behind you and maybe grope you close is what I'm talking about. KazuhaRed was seen as a role model / parental figure for most of these community members, especially among the underage members of his community. And to be honest with you, we all know where this is going at this point. According to this individual, KazuhaRed has a hard time staying out of trouble with his community members from the N-Stars Destruction Squad group, and he cannot seem to get away from all the conflicts between him and other members. To some, it would seem Kazuha, I really hope Genshin doesn't sue me for this, was just incapable of staying out of trouble, but it was in fact Kazuha who had created the trouble for himself. The individual goes on to state that Red has a troubling habit of lying to pretty much everybody who knows him. Lying is a sin, by the way, Red. I'm not sure if you've ever picked up a Bible before. Do you know that one expression, "Did you pray today?" Yeah, I don't think you do, or have, or will, or ever will. Anyways, the individual continues by stating that KazuhaRed takes advantage of his members inappropriately. He also takes advantage of anyone who has any sort of admiration for him, which is just downright disgusting, dude. It's rule numero uno to not be weird around people who look up to you. Kazuha, you've already failed at the easiest checkpoint of owning a community. How? How is that possible? Why are you so gross? The person writing the document goes on to explain that Kazuha is a compulsive liar. an emotional and mental manipulator, a slanderer of other people's names, and a cheater who enjoys leading people on. This isn't cool, by the way, and overall the guy is just a downright untrustworthy and unreliable community leader. We learned that KazuhaRed has been banned from several large VR chat worlds, such as Deluxe Tavern, a Genshin Impact-inspired world, and the N-Stars community altogether of its entirety. The document then goes on to explain that KazuhaRed has created the N-Stars Destruction Family, or N-Stars Destruction Squad, community to dethrone the creators of the main N-Stars VR chat community, just out of pure spite and hatred, and created avatars literally revolving around the game for free that the public could use. Again, this is all just to spite the N-Stars community. Dude, uploading assets that aren't yours and creating a group just to spite another group is some insane behavioral issues. It's crazy to me. Dude, just go see a therapist and leave the N-Stars community alone. It's really not that hard. Next, we continue reading that the community's name was changed because supposedly KazuhaRed had found love in it. Cupid had struck him with his arrow, which thus inspired his community to change its name. I bet he found love there, but was it really minor? I guess we'll never know. Red often associated himself with a character named Mama from the game N-Stars. Now, I don't really know anything about this game, nor do I really want to. I don't really want to look into it, but Mama as a title, are you serious? Dude, you've got to be joking. Like, actually joking. Are you supposed to be some sort of mother, or what's going on here? Anyways, the individual then goes on to state that Red acted as a super sweet, super caring, hero parental figure to those that were under the age. Which is very weird, dude. I'm just going to leave that out there, but please just stay away from the children and let their parents handle caring for them. It's not your job to care for these kids online. KazuhaRed, just stay away from the kids, okay? A lot of KazuhaRed's community members came to him in their time of need or aid and continued to feed into Kazuha's delusions that he was someone with later characteristics. Not going to apologize for that either. As the document states, community members developed an unhealthy connection with KazuhaRed, which isn't great at all, especially for those that are underage and still are developing mentally. If you are someone you know needs assistance, please tell your parents or get some help yourself. Do not, under any circumstances, rant to some strange man on VRChat or in a Discord. Taking a look at this next paragraph in this document, it's very clear that KazuhaRed has created some sort of cult that takes his word at face value. Every word he says is truth, which isn't great. Basically, if Kazuha points at you and says that you're guilty, you are guilty, and no one will second guess it. That's really awesome community foundations right there. That's sarcasm, by the way. The person writing the document even acknowledges that this group is a cult. Kazuha, you've changed the community name because you had, quote, found love in it. And now here you are giving your community cult-like traits. Do you not see that this is some sort of form of hypocrisy? You are giving your own community red flags in front of you, your peers, and yourself. Must be mentally unwell to not be able to see that sort of thing happening in front of you. The document states that if another member wants any comfort, KazuhaRed would step in between them and say, nah, I'd win, or nah, I'll handle this. To me, it seems like Kazuha wants to be the center of attention. He wants all the attention on himself. Probably because his parents wouldn't give it to him. Sorry, buddy. Well, Kazuha, now the attention is on you, and I hope you're happy. A friend went on to question if KazuhaRed was genuinely a mercenary, as Kazuha constantly stated that he was. Which, I gotta ask, because I thought mercenaries were like a Star Wars / fantasy or Fallout thing, but after looking it up on Google, I feel really stupid, and they're certainly very real. Man, I'm dumb. But anyways, continuing on, the friend mentioned in the document and continues to tell us that Kazuha continuously flexes his airsoft guns, which causes them to doubt their role as a genuine mercenary, which, to be honest with you, is kind of fair. If you're saying that you're the president of the United States with a paper bow tie, a paper suit, and everything you have is paper-related, I'm most certainly going to question your authenticity. Now, of course, Red Kazuha, or KazuhaRed, didn't like being doubted by this member, so he decided to spread slander and awful things about this person. He attempted to separate his friend from other people because they were just questioning him being a mercenary. Now, if that isn't just genuinely screwed up, Kazuha, who cares if you're a mercenary or not? You don't need to go around lying about someone else to protect your fake mercenary role. And seriously, dude, you need a reality check. Or better yet, if I see you on the road, a brake check. I won't actually do that, by the way. This screenshot is also from the individual who doubted Red Kazuha, and he is seen talking to him here. And then the month of September comes around and KazuhaRed is forced to leave the community after the light and truth begins to come out about him and his true intentions and actions in the group as the group leader. Of course, Kazuha couldn't stay away, so he decided to try to make his own secret Discord group. All of his own. Goodness, dude, seriously, Kazuha. Stay off of Discord, my dude, for all of us. My guy, it's not that hard. Put down the internet for a week, maybe go visit a log cabin, go pet a deer, go pet a bear maybe too if you can. Just enjoy nature for once. In these next couple of screenshots, you can see that Kazuha makes his close friends go and seek out or recruit specific members who were young and impressionable, and most importantly, underage. Easily influenceable members or previous members of his old Discord that he can use to his advantage and for recruitment purposes for his new weird Discord server. One of the members even goes so far as to ask if they can still see him as a mother figure anymore. And I'm sorry. What? I know you're young, but you probably have a real mother, right? And she probably loves you. Let's go play with Beyblades instead. All right, and maybe watch, like, I don't know, Wow Wow Wubsy. I don't know what kids watch these days. The friend who went around recruiting for Kazuha admits that they were instructed to mass target folks who heavily relied on Kazuha for emotional support, or those who were 100% loyal and would 100% follow in his footsteps, which is, again, 100% occult-like activities. My goodness, dude, it's a cult! KazuhaRed would also constantly act as a judge figure to anyone who decided to hang around their family or friends or anything that wasn't related to Red's agenda. He would also always make it about him. He was self-obsessive, and he thinks everything revolves around him. But let me reassure you, the world doesn't revolve around you, buckaroni. KazuhaRed went around kicking or banning anyone who doesn't agree with him. As you all know by now, if you don't agree with KazuhaRed, you are some peasant. And nobody was allowed to ask any questions about anything, as Kazuha had, quote, defeated the bad guys, so it justified everything Kazuha had done. Kazuha, how does it feel that you're a low-tier villain yourself at this point? My brother, just because some people offer constructive criticism, it doesn't mean they're villains trying to take away your fake children. Oh my goodness, this guy is a lost cause. KazuhaRed continues this path of self-destruction and goes around pretty much blabbering that his old cult members who didn't continue following him were untrustworthy and unreliable. He tells us not to reach out to them at all, and to be honest with you, that sounds like the typical manipulative predator behavior that we know and don't love. Red goes on to cheat, lie, and lead others on several different occasions with other people who have real genuine emotions. KazuhaRed doesn't care if you have feelings. He'll just walk all over you as if he's some sort of god. Well, pal, KazuhaRed, you're not my pal, and you're not a god, and you'll never be a god. Go back to preschool and maybe learn the golden rule without the kids attending. I just now saw the screenshots for some of these cheating messages, and I think I'm gonna uninstall my own life, y'all. It was nice knowing you guys. Seriously, I can't do this anymore. The document goes on to state that these flirtatious acts lasted for 8 months between several different individuals that KazuhaRed had solicited, and ultimately he led them on and tossed them out like trash. Up next, KazuhaRed faces some very serious allegations of possible predatory behavior regarding his previous relationship and possessing several underage members in his communities at all times. Considering how much the guy DMs folks like it's a VR chat dating app never met, I wouldn't be surprised if he hit up a couple of children. If the guy's mentally unwell enough to create a cult dedicated to him that focuses on him solely, then the guy's most certainly mentally unwell enough to be a predator and to take advantage of young children. As a result, KazuhaRed would redirect anyone who asked about these predatory allegations to the former friend of his ex, Bimbo/Tabby, since she supposedly knew everything regarding this situation. And I don't buy it for a second. There is no way that this friend of your ex's has more information about your own predatory actions. Again, these are your actions, not theirs. My guy, get your act together and start acting like an adult. It's your fault. If you have some sort of allegations being brought against you, no one else is going to stand up to defend you. When you know the most about these allegations over everybody else. When Red's current partner confronted Bimbo, they realized that KazuhaRed was soliciting Bimbo/Tabby for explicit photos still, and thus she found out that Red was cheating on her this way. Literally a day into the relationship, KazuhaRed, you cheated on her. A day into the relationship. How is that even possible? How much of a gooner do you have to be to solicit several people for sexual images, explicit photos, on the first day of your relationship? Seriously, dude. The two began to exchange their heartbreak through their messages and share photos of Red and, well, have a good, well-deserved laugh at the beephole that had broken their hearts and lied to them both the day the relationship had started. KazuhaRed went on to reassure everyone that he wasn't a predator, a cheater, or a liar, but of course, his stories didn't really match any of the ones that he was telling others in the past. He basically continued to dig himself a deeper hole to lie in as his grave. It might as well be a grave at this point. I figured this might not be enough evidence to consider this man a predator, considering we only really saw or mentioned 2 brief predator accusations, so I decided to dig myself deeper into this cesspool, and I reached out to the person who had created the ticket, and they told me that the victim/underage individual who they knew didn't really want to talk about their experiences with KazuhaRed, as he had yelled at this minor to the point where it had scarred them. And then another minor mentioned that Kazuha had sexual relations with them, which is just downright disgusting. Imagine scarring someone so badly because you're such an awful human being who's evil and can't get any sort of woman or man without lying. So you have to rely on getting with minors instead. Truly, Kazuha, you are the scum of the earth and the bane of my existence. You affected our communities, you affect our lives, you've left some of these community members genuinely scarred and traumatized for potentially the rest of their lives, and you do not seem to care. Genuinely, Kazuha, you are one of the worst people I've ever heard of, and I want to see you behind bars. You thought this was over, didn't you? Well, you're wrong. I wasn't content with the evidence we got of Kazuha being a predator, so I decided to dig as deep as I could, and I wound up reaching out to a victim of Red's. They handed me a Google Drive full of information that was beyond disgusting and confirmed his predatory behavior. In this first screenshot, we find KazuhaRed's date of birth in the drive, which confirms his age. He's 21 years old, and he loves dating a victim who is 16 years old. Disgusting. Really disgusting, Kazuha. And apparently there's some sort of Romeo and Juliet law or something like that, but it's illegal where his state is, California, I believe. So don't even try that in the comments below, or Kazuha, don't even try to justify it with that. It's gross, dude. Just downright gross. Stop it. Next, we see Kazuha DMing this minor, "I believe in you, baby." And I had an ick run down my spine when I read this message being sent to this 16-year-old. He tells this 16-year-old to basically lie about Kazuha's age for him, and to not tell anyone that asks about Kazuha's real age, which at this time is 19. Basically, he just wants everyone to lie about his age, and have everyone believe he's 19. This behavior is beyond foul, Kazuha. You're 20 years of age at this time, sending these next couple of messages to a 16-year-old, and do you not understand that your claims of not being a predator are completely discarded? You are a predator. You are the very thing you claim not to be, and you've only further ruined yourself because There is literally video evidence of you confronting this same minor in VR chat.
I should dish out justice. I should ruin you. But I told all of them no. Because deep down, I still fucking love you, Gaia. I still love you. I've always loved you. And I only ever cared about you. I did everything for you. Dozens of people from outside the community, outside the circle, outside our friends, our acquaintances come to me and they tell me, Red, Guy is saying all this shit about you. Guy is doing this. Guy is doing this. Fight back. Fight back. Say shit. Slander her. Drop something. Do something. And I tell every single one of them no. Because I'm done playing these games, Gaia.
Just like how you told me during our relationship that you had spies everywhere.
I do.
You have spies everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's kind of fucked up to say to your partner?
No.
No.
It'd be more fucked up if I hid it from you, didn't I? Wouldn't that be? If I would have been like, no, I'm not going to tell them. And then maybe like 4 months later when we break up, oh yeah, I had people watching you the whole time. Doesn't that sound more fucked up? Would I not be more honest with you?
Why wouldn't you just tell me?
I have an agreement with people. I told you that. Confidentiality is a thing. I don't know if you know what that is, but putting a name out risk their lives. You know that.
Yes, I do.
If I had a friend who was a spy right now, like next to me, and you didn't know he was, and I went, oh yeah, his name is this and this, and he does this, doesn't that expose him?
You talk about dating them and spying on them. You try so desperately to justify the things that you've done, like spying and dating a minor and abusing people, but you can't and won't hide any longer. In this next screenshot, the same minor Kazuha was dating tells another victim that Kazuha has been running around continuously lying about his age. So now basically everything comes full swing and aligns perfectly. We understand that Kazuha was telling the truth about lying about his age and that he just constantly lies in general. Apparently, you also faked your death, which I gotta ask, what is with predators and people doing wrong things, thinking that they can fake their deaths or state that they have cancer all of a sudden and it gets them out of trouble? Your crimes won't go away after death or getting cancer, and you certainly aren't going to get out of this. There is a Google Drive and a Google Doc linked below. I strongly suggest you look into all of this because I haven't even began to scratch the surface of this man's true colors. Please report this person on everything. Do not harass them, and that's all I have to say. Peace, all of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. I'm gonna go play some more Roblox Pressure. A little bit later, I managed to get a hold of KazuhaRed's Discord from one of the former victims, so I added him and we spoke for a little bit, and here's how our conversation went. Ultimately, the second that I had added the guy, he decided to deny my friend request the first time, which, in my opinion, makes you look super guilty, but, you know, what do I know? Basically, moral of the story is Kazuha thinks he deserves peace and claims that he's making up for what he's done to himself. And I'm like, okay, but you haven't made up for what you've done to other people around you. So what you say isn't gonna matter to me or to them. And overall, the guy won't apologize because he knows people will accept it. And it's true, people will no longer accept your apology. You've done too many terrible things and you can't get away with it any longer. His excuse for the 17 and 19-year-old thing that I called him out for it was that his grandma made a joke about it, so I made it too, which is pretty lame. And then, of course, you could see I asked him if he liked cupcakes, and, yeah. Moral of the story is, I guess he's not a huge cupcake fan. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the secret ending, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, y'all.